It was simply a matter of coincidence. They both happened to be taking part in the same contest. And that's all. Thanks, Von Karma. We'll have to confront him with evidence if we want to draw the truth out of him. And it's imperative that we do. He's clearly hiding something.
Hold it!
Yeah, a Judge Von Karma would probably have dancing to his tune. That's true. You played the original trilogy. Von Karma was a pain in the ass to deal with. It won't be an easy trial, that's for sure. Please, Mr. Von Karma, continue. Present.
Objection!
And the same fucking flowers. I wonder if you could look at the two confections in the foreground for me, Mr. Von Karma. They were made for the contest semifinals. Both are quite exquisitely crafted, wouldn't you agree? As the nameplate suggests, these were Mr. Gusto and Mr. Frost's entries. Mr. Gusto told us that his confectionery design was far from his strong suit. And yet, his work in the picture is just as good as Mr. Frost's. Exactly as good, in fact. We learned from another witness that the two entries also tasted exactly the same. Objection. Suggesting you're a bitch. I'm suggesting they were helping one another out. Let's take a closer look, shall we? While at first glance the two may appear to be superficially different, it soon becomes apparent that there are significant similarities in how they were put together. They are made of the same ingredients, taste the same, and share a similar design aesthetic. This picture is proof positive that the two were working together. Mr. Von Karma knew all along they were cooperating. Let me confirm what you seem so desperate to prove. Gusto and Frost were indeed working together. Gusto spelled out the details of his relationship to Frost during his questioning last night. It seems they were helping one another right up until the day before the final. Keep wanting to say finale. That is incorrect. So, you knew the two were cooperating. Mr. Von Karma, why are you trying to bury the truth? What an asshole. It doesn't explain why he's being so slippery with the facts, though. I need to figure out what he's hiding. I can't let things end like this.
Hold it!
So, you know that there was a connection between the two. Well, why were you trying to hide it? Lollipop nursing fool. You do things your way. I'll do them mine.
Hold it.
Last night after Mr. Frost's work melted, correct? I imagine Mr. Gusto probably meditated his way through the difficult parts. Oh, it is a snap. No one dares plead the fifth with me. Eat shit. Did that even work on him? You perfectly learned every last detail in Gusto and Frost's relationship. You are weirdly obsessed with perfection, my dude.
Hold it.
Gusto's sense of design is subpar, and Frost was an amateur confectioner at best. So, what was their endgame? Why cooperate only until the day before the finals? I was under the impression that the collaboration had only lasted through the semifinals. But I'm starting to think it might have lasted up through the final itself. Mr. Von Karma, I'd like to ask you some more about how long they worked together for, if you don't mind.
Hold it.
Before you ask, I'm not objecting to your characterization of Mr. Gusto's design sense. Just thinking of the abomination he came out with turns my stomach. Yeah, I kinda like the guy's work. An artistically rich amateur and an artistically impoverished professional. Eh. What do? I guess we haven't pressed this one.
Hold it.
You really believe that they were cooperating until the day before the finals and just simply stopped? Seems a little strange to me, wouldn't you agree?
Objection.
Objection. He was concerned enough to try and hide it from me only a few minutes ago, though, which means there must have been a reason for that. Based on Mr. Tangaroa's assessment, it sounds as if Mr. Frost's entry for the final was the clear winner. That's precisely what I was thinking. contest rules. Oh, this is what Scone said. If the liar which was salty.
Objection.
Okay. Oh, this one. Because what I'm saying is that they cooperated later.
Objection.
Got it. They weren't working together during the finals? I find that a little hard to believe. Miss Scone is on record as having described Mr. Frost's creation as scrumptious. And while he was certainly skilled, I doubt even he could have become a world-class confectioner overnight. Seems far more likely to me that he and Mr. Gusto were still cooperating during the finals. Uh-oh. Okay. How is that not an entirely subjective statement? What's on your mind, kid? Yeah, what is it? I would imagine so. Perhaps there's some lawyerly instinct in you after all, Eddie. Your ponderings certainly point to another possibility. Stop eating paper, you fucking weirdo. Eddie's right. Mr. Frost would have needed to freeze his own large blocks of flavored ice to create his art. And there wouldn't have been time to do that during the contest itself. So what must Mr. Frost have done in order to finish his flavored ice entry within the time limit? Make the ice the day before. He must have made the ice, the flavored ice the day before. Then all he would have had to do was sculpt it. I'm muttering about art. Leave me alone. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized something, that's all. I realized that you're correct. I hope you know what you're doing. The only thing I'm accepting is that perhaps one of the things you said was true. They were helping one another right up until the day before the final. Hi, Scritch, welcome in. Just as you said, the day before the final really did mark the end of their collaboration. Mr. Frost's entry was carved entirely from blocks of flavored ice. Ice which would have needed at least a day to freeze. And whose flavor would therefore have already been prepared by Mr. Gusto? In that case, why didn't Mr. Frost reciprocate and help Mr. Gusto in return?
Objection.
Perhaps not, but I imagine Mr. Gusto could tell us, so why don't you let us speak with him? Or do you still insist your interrogation was as thorough as you claim? Your methods are twisted and fucked up. Von Karma, eat shit. That's not my intention, I just don't understand why you would obstruct a perfectly valid line of inquiry. Give me one good reason as to why you're keeping Mr. Gusto from me.
Objection!
How can you possibly say that with any certainty? If the relationship had broken down for some reason, that could have very well been the motive behind this murder. Have this gun that I'm gonna shoot you with. I don't have a gun and I'm not gonna shoot him, but I can dream. It's a preemptive self-defense. Mr. Gusto only acted suspiciously one time that we know of. I'll be in and out of chat, but listening probably the whole time. Later workday since Wednesday and Friday are such long days, so I'm getting my cosplay worked out a bit. Nice! I hope you have fun doing your cosplay. And I hope that your longer workdays are not terrible. And I imagine Mr. Von Karma is aware of exactly what that suspicious action was. Which means this is probably a trap. But even if this is a trap, I can't back down now. Mr. Gusto stuck into Mr. Frost's room, and we still don't know why. That fact alone is reason enough to suspect him. I knew it. It was a trap. That's... Oh, they have kids! But why? No! He does the same thing as his kid. Just screams no really long for no reason. He's never going to let me talk to Mr. Gusto. Like, done obstructing my investigation. Get the fuck out. Yeah, you didn't, though, Fender. You just suck. You left a 9-year-old defend for himself and be adopted by that monster. I just want to point that out yet again, Eddie. Things to be getting on with. What exactly could those things be? Is a body, murder weapon, and a suspect in custody. The prosecution means to pursue Mr. Tangaroa. Surely they have all they need. Was Mr. Von Karma still investigating the scene of the crime? So many fucking things. We're missing something. Something important. Mr. Von Karma has everything he needs to proceed with the prosecution of Mr. Tangaroa. And yet, he still doesn't seem entirely confident of his case. If he was, why refuse to share information with Detective Bad? "24 hours post-murder and there's still no autopsy report. Forgot about that. A flashback that was actually useful. Thank you, Ace Attorney. In addition, we still haven't solved the mystery of what happened to the evidence that went missing. I mean, that was thrown in the fucking water. It's stupid. I don't remember anybody mentioning they removed the blood along with the body. Evidence that turned up not in Mr. Tangaroa's room, but in a most unusual place. Yeah, there was blood in the fountain. There's blood in the water. So, there were no traces of Mr. Frost's blood left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. We found some in the fountain instead. Why? Do, 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 do. Oink. Mr. Frost's blood went missing from the crime scene. But traces of it showed up in the fountain. Why go to the trouble of removing the blood from the scene after the body had been discovered? And why only the blood? Surely the body would have also been in the way. Wait, would someone have moved the body aside to get to the blood? Did they do that? There's something weird in the autopsy report, huh? So the body might have been moved aside or even removed from the scene of the crime entirely. After all, as far as we know, there's still no autopsy report. We've learned plenty about the murder weapon and the suspect, but very little about the body itself. Oh right, it's missing, nobody knows it yet. Our assumption thus far has been that the body had been recovered by the forensics team. But what if that assumption is false? What if Mr. Von Karma won't show Detective Bad the autopsy report out of something other than spite? What if we've been thinking about this the wrong way all along? And the question isn't why did Mr. Von Karma hold back information about the body? It's did Mr. Von Karma even have any information about the body in the first place? How do things look from that angle? Perhaps the body hadn't been removed by the police in order to carry out an autopsy. Perhaps it had already been removed and hidden away by the culprit before their arrival. We've both heard the rumors about Mr. Von Karma's questionable methods. Fabricated witness statements, shady deals, forged evidence even. I would never judge a person on the basis of rumors alone. Even Mr. Von Karma. I tried my best not to let my preconceptions color our interactions with him. Nonetheless, it appears he may indeed be willing to twist the truth to his own ends. You've been playing dirty? Yes. I fear he might have been. He still is. I'm not about to let him get away with it. Where's the body, Von Karma?
Hold it!
Dramatic point. Why are you a bitch? I have a few questions, Mr. Von Karma, about a certain fact you've been keeping from us. The freaked out little... okay, so that's Eddie Fender. He's, Edgeworth's dad's, assistant. He's not actually a journalist. He's right now he's studying to be an attorney, and later on he is an attorney because this is a flashback technically. We're living in the past right now. He's kind of fine now, but later on he becomes real like creepy uncle weirdo. I don't like him.
Objection!
Not the police I have an issue with, Mr. Von Karma. It's you. No, not creepy uncle. Yeah, so in the future, several of the characters are like 16, 17, and he hits on one of the 16-year-olds, and then he hits on a judge, and he's just really creepy. He calls everybody by a nickname. He's incredibly rude and mean to Miles when he first sees him again. Despite the fact that the last time he saw Miles, he was a 9-year-old with a dead dad, just an orphan child, and he was just a dick to him as an adult because he thought that. So this is Von Karma, this guy with the gray hair, and after Von Karma literally killed Edgeworth's dad, but got away with it, he adopted Miles and took him under his wing and turned him into a prosecutor. So, yeah, he has like a long legacy of being like the demon prosecutor. Edgeworth does, and it's all this guy's fault. But now he doesn't know how to exist any other way. He's just an uptight little dude who's really good at prosecuting. But they did prove later that this guy killed Edgeworth's dad, and the reason that they found out is because Von Karma was so sure that he got away with it that he tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for the murder of Gregory Edgeworth. He tried to frame a 9-year-old for the murder of his dad, but like 12 years later. But if he hadn't done that, he would have just gotten away with it. He didn't have to do any of the shit that he did. He could have just walked away and gotten away with murder. Isn't it on the prosecution to work out who the real culprit of a crime is? He also tased Maya and Phoenix, so a lot of people hate him just for that.
Objection!
Tasing a 16-year-old girl is never a good look. And how far would you go for your perfect cases? Would you create facts out of whole cloth, perhaps? Fair, clearly not a likable looking fellow. He does look like a vampire, which would be cool if he wasn't a fucking asshole. Okay, Edgeworth also looks like a vampire, and he's not a fucking asshole. Because it was why you've done nothing but hinder Detective Bad from doing his job at every turn. Exclamation mark! What are you talking about? You didn't shut him out of the investigation because you wanted him to keep an eye on us. You did it to stop him from finding out you don't have the body. What? Objection. I am not clutching at straws. Then allow us to examine it. Prove me wrong if you can.
Objection!
As you must have seen for yourself, a piece of the bloody chocolate is missing from the scene of the crime. Why did it disappear? And where did it go? So what indeed? That's precisely my question. The body was still at the scene when the police got here. Removing the blood would accomplish nothing. I mean, anyone named Edgeworth will always assume to either be a vampire, a butler, or a trust fund snob until otherwise informed. Maybe a combination of those things. Well, Gregory's also an Edgeworth. This is Gregory. I don't think he has a profile. Yeah, you don't get a profile for the person you're playing. You're just on Karma. But this is Gregory Edgeworth, and his son Miles Edgeworth is the one that we will be playing in the now timeline, not the past timeline. But unfortunately, we don't have his picture either. If the body was still at the scene of the crime when the police got here, removing the blood would have accomplished nothing. However, let us suppose for a moment that the body was not. If someone had wanted to erase any trace of what had happened in that room, then it all makes perfect sense. Objection. Of course, after all, evidence is everything, as you never tire of telling us. I believe this should back up my theory quite nicely. Do 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 do. Well, those aren't useful. Oh, here it is. It's found in the fountain.
Take that.
I wish I had magical snapping powers. Do you? Sounds like you'd break your thumb. Traces of the victim's blood were found in the fountain, along with traces of the chocolate from Mr. Tangaroa's room. Sorry, Scritch. I believe the missing piece of the blood-stained chocolate was dumped into the stream that flows into the fountain, which strongly points towards one certain fact. Someone purposefully disposed of the blood after the body had been removed from the chest. Yerk. Mr. Von Karma, where did you find the body, you weird German man? You didn't find it, did you? Answer me. No, but I do. I learned last night that sewing leather should be avoided. Yes. Yes, it should be. There's... what are you trying to make? What are you trying to do with the leather? Oh, I was barely on it in the first place. Mr. Von Karma, you still haven't answered my question. Will you admit it? Will you confirm that no body was ever recovered? Don't tisk me, you weird old man. How old are you right now? 49. 49 with that silver mane. I'm 40 and I barely have any gray hair. No body, no trial, buddy. Habeas corpus, motherfucker. What must I do to get an answer out of them? Basically, they're just leather tube crumples. Okay, so there's a tool. Hang on, let me get to some music so that I don't leave, so I don't just have dead air. Snap. Nothing will. Alright, you bitch. Because you own the judge. Mark my words, Von Karma, your methods will be your undoing. No matter how you try to hide the truth, I'll bring it all to light in the end. Forgive me, detective. I didn't mean to put you in a difficult position. Don't sweat it. It was always gonna end this way. Alright, let me see if I can find the tool. Okay, so I don't have this particular one. Send me to the fucking... I hate everything about you, Google. Why have you become so worthless? So I have one of these, or like 4 of these, I don't know. This one's from Home Depot, but you can get them from like any craft store too. And instead of trying to jam a needle through the leather, you can just punch a hole through the leather and then like bind it with like a thicker cord. It'll look very aesthetic. Probably match what the original is anyway. Because I remember her stitching being pretty visible, question mark? I might be wrong. And that way you're using both of your hands, so hopefully you're not just destroying a couple of your fingers trying to get the needle through. There are also like more industrially ones where you just sort of like spin a thing. But those are like big boy toys. Honestly, nobody's ever sidelined me the way he did before. First time for everything, huh? You know, I think you might be right about the body being missing. I am, and I'll prove it in court. Well, if there's anything I can do to help, just say the word. Since, you know, I'm off the case now. That's very kind, and I'm sorry to keep asking favors of you, Detective Bad, but there is one more thing. Fuck off, Fender. Alright, Eddie. The detective and I were just arranging a little insurance for the trial. I think we have enough to see Mr. Tangeroa acquitted. Too bad you don't. But I'd prefer to have an ace in the hole, just in case. You'll find out in the courtroom. You letting me join you? Alright. Of course I am. You're my assistant after all. I have one for the riveting. I just didn't think about using it instead of an all-thirst threading. Thank you. I have had a hilarious muscle mommy moment the other day that even prompted me to take a gym pic, which I never do. And wouldn't have if I hadn't had the place subtly to myself. But I looked her and went, wow, you'd never know that person randomly self-destructed at the drop of a hat. And then I sued leather and humbled myself. I'm sorry. My mom was like an amateur seamstress, and I'm like not a half bad sewist. I just don't like doing it. I'm probably not very good at it anymore because it's been a while. But I know a lot about making clothes and costumes and bags and what have you, putting zippers in. Don't ask me how to do a French seam though, because I understand the concept, but I've never been able to actually do it correctly. I can install gussets and shit, but like a French seam just is beyond me. I think there's too much ironing. I really hate ironing. Indeed. Though I'm hoping we'll have freed Mr. Tangeroa by then. But if we're up against Von Karma, I guess we can't rule out the possibility that this might take some time. I won't. I'll expose Mr. Von Karma's lies. It's the last thing you do. I'm sorry, buddy. It is the last thing you do, Gregory. I'm so sorry, buddy. Goodbye. Goodbye, I loved you. To be continued. Okay. See, now we're Miles Edgeworth again. This is his kid. I'm good at fabricating, but don't yet know how to sew. I'm going to try and make my costume for Dragon Steel in December. It'll be my first real seamstress kind of thing. I don't even know what a French seam, not a French stitch. It's a method of seaming that keeps all of your raw edges inside of like the cloth, so it's all like neat and tidy and is much less likely to unravel. Like your hem is much less likely to like come apart. I just suck at it. I can't tell you why. I think I'm just impatient. I think that's also why I don't enjoy sewing. I'm just too impatient for it. But if you have a good sewing machine and you don't have to fuck with the tension every 5 seconds. Like if your sewing machine's all set up correctly, then it's not so bad. So this is adult Eddie. This is Eddie Fender as an adult. He still has his little notebook here. He hasn't eaten any paper out of it, from what I've seen. And then this is Gregory's kid, Miles Edgeworth. He's my favorite. I love him. I'm finally learning the truth about my father's last case. I have a 1970s Singer that needs a tune-up. I don't know how to use it yet. I used to have that. My mom sold it because she's dumb. But, yeah, no, that was my favorite one. That was my favorite. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it is a workhorse. Once you get it working, it's not gonna quit on you. Essentially. As long as you keep it, like, clean and oiled and in working order, that bitch will take you to the ends of the earth and back. Yeah, so Gregory did lose his last case, and then Von Karma shot him, and he died. A decent little pile of evidence in our favor. Not even dirtier than we'd feared. I can imagine. Secure a conviction at all costs. That was always his guiding principle. Please don't do the seal clap at me, I hate it. Whole thing took about a year in the end. December 28th that following year. It's April now, so... Oh, mama. Talking over 17 years ago, that's right. December 28th. I was there that day, 17 years ago, sitting in the courtroom gallery. Not looking great, no. A fake autopsy report. Miles, is that where you learned that shit? You little fucking weasel. I love him, but goddamn. He was cooked. He knew he needed one last card to play if they squeezed a confession out of Samson. He had Bad record all of Samson's interrogation. We all did, but he was a trooper. Stayed with the case even after Von Karma took him off it. Tied up in some other big case too. Good old Bad. They don't make him like that anymore. They certainly don't. Instead we have Gumshoe. I love Gumshoe, but goddamn he's worthless. Anyway, Gregory presented the recordings as proof that Samson's confession was coerced. You know what? It almost worked. A cop named Ian Seidman got fired. I am Seidman. Samson's interrogator and the initial detective before Bad. He took the fall for pretty much the whole thing. But Von Karma didn't get away scot-free. In fact, he was disciplined by the chief prosecutor. For the one and only time in his 40-year career. I didn't stomach another day in court. So sad. I don't remember a lot myself, but my father's face when they declared Mr. Tangaroa guilty. I was a young child at the time, but even I could tell how much he was hurting inside. But then he got shot. Oh, there he is. Hi, Gregory. Sorry about your everything. So he was shot in an elevator that they were all trapped in, including, so it was Gregory, little baby Miles, who was only like 9, and then a bailiff for the court were all trapped in this elevator for hours and hours and hours. And then the lights went out. When the lights came back on, Gregory was dead. It's real fucked up. Yeah, you should blame yourself, you fucking asshole. I mean, don't blame yourself. It was Von Karma that shot him, but still. You could have helped his kid, and you didn't. Shove that aside and obsessed over something else instead, huh? Or rather, someone else. I hated what you did. Hated you for choosing to stick with Von Karma. I hope you can forgive me. I don't know if I can. I mean, Miles will, because he's nicer than me. No, you had every right to hate me. I went on to become a prosecutor as planned, and that's when Mr. Von Karma showed me this case file. According to these records, Mr. Tangaroa was convicted as the main culprit in Mr. Frost's murder. Oh, that's not right. Samson was convicted as an accessory to murder. Strange. The file clearly states that he was the perpetrator. Also, I'm fairly certain that all of Mr. Von Karma's cases were successfully solved. Yeah, sure, look at him. This file's been doctored. Huh. What? Samson Taratoga, age 39, organizer of confectionery contest. Victim's body was found inside one of his creations, leading to his arrest. While in detention, Taratoga discovered that he had a taste disorder, which subsequently cured via medication. Verdict: convicted as an accomplice based on his confession. Convicted as an accomplice. Oh. And why is my copy so different? So, everything I believed about the case was a lie. It's hardly Miles's fault. The truth is out there, okay. Fucking asshole. I inherited Samson's case when your old man passed, and you did such a great job of it. Yeah, I assume so, because Von Karma's toast. Oh, he didn't see a point in time. Alright, got it. The killer was never found, and Samson was found guilty instead. Told him if he didn't confess, he'd make sure Judy was convicted instead. Yeah, he's a monster. Samson knew there was no way Judy could have done it, of course, but he wasn't going to take any chances. He did what he was told and confessed to keep her safe, yeah. No. Why do you think your Uncle Eddie just happened to be in prison the day that Bronco Knight died? You were there to see Mr. Tangaroa. At least his taste disorder's fixed. The ice sculptures are back on display, just like they were all those years ago. We're gonna see what we can find out. Right, Miles Lorino? I'm a prosecutor, Fender. I don't look at these things in the same way as you or my father. But that doesn't matter right now. Speaking not as a prosecutor, but as Miles Edgeworth. I want to know the truth behind both of these cases, and I'm not leaving until I do. Who doesn't love paperwork? Alright, thanks, buddy. Person red ink are my annotations. Cool, let me read that. Thank you, Fenda. I need that right now. That's right, because the statute of limitations is like 15 years or 12 years or something. What was discovered in Tangaroa's room, cause of death was blood loss following a blow to the head. Yep. Location, Samson Tangaroa's mansion, Tangaroa's room. Date December 24th, 18 years ago. Murder weapon, rock salt lamp. Prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Defense attorney Gregory Edgeworth. Quite a few. Alright. Small mountain of evidence from the IS-7 incident received from Fender. Yes, I see. Take a look at them in a bit. Indeed. The key players of the incident 18 years ago who happened to get caught up in another incident. The ice sculptures in the winter wing that are perfect replicas of the ones from 18 years ago. The poison gas attack in the autumn wing, which has been disguised to look like the winter wing. The two chemicals that were found inside the Pisces statue's display case, ubiquium and asphyxiation. Asphyxiant. That form a poisonous gas when mixed together. The victim of the gas attack, Carmelo Gusto, who is no stranger to the events of 18 years ago, and who is still unconscious and undergoing treatment in the medical room. And finally, we come to the body floating face down in the fountain. And the fact that the ice sculptures have melted just as they did all those years ago. The events of the present day would appear to be intimately linked with the events of the past. Which means they may be able to help us learn more about what happened 18 years ago.
Objection!
Oh, it's the kid. What's up, Eustace? No, I was thinking about catapulting you into the sun. Eustace is quite right. I hope you aren't intending to obstruct him in his duties, Mr. Edgeworth. I would hate to have to add a guilty to my report to the committee. What am I guilty of now? Of course not. I'm simply offering once again to do what I can to help with this investigation. Your offer is duly noted and duly declined. Yeah, she's kind of a bitch. It's fine. Both Verity and Eustace get better later, but right now they are insufferable. The identity of the body from the fountain is currently being ascertained. It is only a matter of time until we have all the information we need. Perhaps I can help you speed that process along. I think I have an idea who our mystery victim might be. It's the law. Very well. Maybe it isn't just the ice sculptures that have resurfaced after 18 years. The body in the fountain may also be a visitor from the past. Artie Frost.
Take that!
I believe the body in the fountain is that of the man who was murdered here 18 years ago. Mr. Artie Frost. Artie Frost was a famous sculptor, Eustace. Although he was better known as Paul Hallecky. The sculptures on display here are all his work. Dude, he's a fellow corpse, my dude. Mr. Frost was also the victim in the IS-7 incident. Judge Gabrielle knows about the IS-7 incident. Mr. Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident is an 18-year-old case. And according to police records, the victim's body was recovered and an autopsy duly carried out. What are you insinuating? The records say stuff like body totally recovered. The defense back then begged to differ. Not that it stopped the prosecution from shutting them down hard, of course. Meep. What is it, Eustace? Some sculpture called Frost or something, so I guess Edgeworth called it. I sure did, motherfucker. Goddess of justice. So my father's deductions were right all along. Well, Judge Gabrielle, I'd say this changes things, wouldn't you? Perhaps now you'll admit I might be of use to this case. More than a certain junior prosecutor, anyway. I'm doing no such thing. All I want is to uncover the truth. And if we're going to get to the bottom of what happened here, we'll need to work together. We do not need to do anything, and you do not need to know the truth. This case is none of your concern.
Objection!
Alright, Eddie. Another of your interruptions, Mr. Fender? It's one of the pesky kids pushing the theory that the body had actually gone missing. The prosecutor at the time may have brushed this off, but you can't deny the testimony of your eyes. Or to put it a little more bluntly, the prosecution's case was rotten from the ground up. Eat shit. When there's a miscarriage of justice caused by the prosecution, isn't it the committee's job to fix it? Yeah, Verity? How you feeling about that one? And who better to unpick that mess than somebody who was there at the time? Unless you have an ulterior motive. Judge Gabrielle seems to know the facts of the IS-7 incident in some detail. In which case, I suspect she must be here on the committee's behalf. Your connection to the case is noted, Mr. Fender, but I fail to see how it concerns Mr. Edgeworth. He's the son of the original defense attorney, and the protege of the case's lead prosecutor. Yep. And if that's not enough for you, he was at the trial, too. I think it's just possible he might have a little something to bring to the table, don't you? I love the music used in this. Yes! I love all of the Ace Attorney music, and, like, when you get something right, the music drops out, and it's, like, the most exciting silence in the world. Very well. You may both assist in the investigation, but only if you refrain from interfering with the work of others. The Winter Wing is off limits for now. This room, however, is all yours. Oh, this is familiar. Stop trying to hug her. Just because she's got titties the size of... Alright. You need to calm down, Eddie. Hit him. Please hit him. Do not test me, Mr. Fender. Get him, Verity. In this fight, I'm Gabrielle all the way. Let's go. Smash his face in. Your permission to investigate can be revoked at any time. Duly noted, Your Honor. Thanks to your immeasurable help, as always. I was mostly doing it for me, alright, Fender. Oh, I've got Kay back as my buddy. So everywhere I go, Kay's gonna wander with me. Heck yeah! We're still unclear on two key facts. How Mr. Frost's body came to be where we found it, and the source of the ubiquium. Indeed. Let's focus on the ubiquium first and foremost. Correct. It's also bright red in color and has a distinctive minty fragrance. Since we have Kay here, and we haven't seen her in a while, let's say hi. Notice anything? I'm glad you noticed, Kay. Yes, dear. There is a connection between the IS-7 incident and this one. It's still too early to say for sure, but I find it hard to believe that there's no connection at all. I appreciate the sentiment. I think our first order of business should be to find out where the ubiquium came from. Okay. How you doing, buddy? It seems the police have already removed the body. I guess they don't want to lose it a second time. And why wasn't it all rotten and stuff? Did it slowly shuffle its way here? Yeah, he's undead. He needed to sculpt more shit. Need I remind you that zombies aren't real? It seems likely that the body was preserved somehow. Yes, ma'am! Ubiquium and asphyxium have been detected in the fountain. In addition to those two chemicals, there's also a large amount of sugar. Oh, that wasn't miles, but same difference. Composition of the sugar is being analyzed. There's sugar in the fountain. Where would it even have come from? Can I look at these? Oh. Oh, I can. Yes, it seems he created them later in his life, once he had begun to make a name for himself. His wife pushed him to sculpt the two of them as ancient gods, and he couldn't say no to his beloved. Title is The Beautiful Goddess Venus and Her Humble Servant. Good to know he was a simp for his wife. He did. It seems he was fascinated by fantasy and mythology when he was a young man. Piece embodies the tragic yet gritty determination of the young as they face an impossible situation. It's called the math test. Same. Talk about relatable. This looks familiar. This is based off of a real. This is based off of a real statue. It's like not super close, but it's close enough. Some nerd knew what they were doing. And how's the rest of the fountain looking? They're beautiful, actually, sir. Almost as if there wasn't a body floating in it not so long ago, hmm? What's this shit? Yes, from his younger years, when he was something of a dreamer. He depicted those closest to him by means of a motif taken from nature. This piece is titled, My Parents. Oh no. Miss Bound's tea set is laid out neatly on the serving cart. Understandably so. The cup we were given was delicious. Interesting. In that case, I think we'd better take a closer look. Hey, what the fuck is this shit? A caddy containing Ceylon tea leaves. It's a well-crafted tin canister designed to prevent moisture and sunlight from damaging the contents. Not a bad thing to use considering the quality of the blend Miss Bound serves. The tablecloth draped over the cart is of pure white and completely spotless. No, Kay. Kay, I cannot stress enough how bad of an idea that would be. By the way, this tea set is based off of a real one, and I found it once and it was so expensive, but I wanted it so bad. It's really beautiful in real life. Cool tea-colored tie-dye. Yes, well, I'd rather it remained white. Plus, I don't think Miss Bound would appreciate us meddling with it. Develop a stutter mid-game, it's fine. So this dishware was made by Artie Frost. Oh, it is. I'm willing to bet that this can fetch something in the thousands of dollars. So let's try not to touch any of it unless we absolutely have to. Yes. The artist is dead. It's irreplaceable and it's very beautiful. So keep your little mitts off of it. Stop it, Kay. I can see your eyes lighting up. Oh yeah, she's gonna steal it. Miss Bound really must be a fan of Mr. Frost, like Fender said, to still have this. Oh god, I forgot Larry was here. Get the fuck out! What is it? Why is Larry so concerned all of a sudden? Oh, hey, Judy. Ms. Bound. Thank you for the offer. Yes, why not? A quick break won't hurt. Give to me the tea. Aw, what a cute animation. It's Ceylon, I believe. It's usually identifiable by its citrus aroma, but... Ms. Bound, is this the same blend you served this morning? Oh no, not at all. Just that the cup you gave me earlier had a slightly different aroma. Did you make us drink the murder weapon? Judy. What's gotten under your skin, Larry? Loris, I'm not saying that. That's not even your real... You're just an idiot. I hate you so much. You know... You cost me and Phoenix so much money and time just by existing. I hate it. Well, that was childish even for him. Let's ask him about it later, shall we? Talking to Miss Bound is more of a priority right now. We might not have any evidence to prove that she's the culprit. But it does seem likely that the poison gas was her doing. It looks like we have seen everything there is to see on this. What's this mess? From the color and aroma, I'd say this is a puddle of spilt tea. Oh, so sad. pH of my tea. I know that insignia. A certain high-strung somebody just might know a little something too. This. Why is there a lift car just sitting out here out in the open? The top of the platform seems to be wet. I saw it in Frost. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, that would make sense. Lift cart data jotted down in my organizer. Indeed. After all, it just might have something to do with our case. What have we got? Connect? You gonna let me? Nope. That doesn't add up. I better think again. I guess that's too much of a leap for you. In Moon Logic, you're way through other shit, but this one, nah. It wouldn't make much of a difference if you did, officer. You're standing in front of a wall. We know that a few bricks won't stop you, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, sir. Most people are, okay? Just what kind of reputation do I have down at the precinct? The kind where you dock gumshoes pay every week. Oh, I don't have a button for that, I just actually have to do it.
Who do you call a teddy bear?
Or, no, wait.
Who did you call a teddy bear? Hoo hoo hoo.
Oh, fuck. It's so loud for me and so quiet for you guys. I don't know why. I was looking for the Monokuma button on my keyboard, as if there was one. I'm smart. It's a selection of trophies won by Paul Halliquay, or rather, Artie Frost. Now I knew what it was as soon as I read it. I was just trying to be entertaining, which I'm not very good at, I guess. Cry about it. I guess you will. Something with a nice ceremony at the end? Yes, followed by a swift round of arrests. Can I look at this table, or? Nope, I can only talk to that guy. It seems the elevator is only accessible to select individuals. Among other things, the medical room. That's where Mr. Gusto is being treated. Yes, that would be the only reason I need him to wake up. Since there's no way of knowing when that might be, we should explore other avenues in the meantime. Hey, I did have to go lay down, which sucked. I was not a happy camper about that. But I have to talk to you. Do you mind, Mr. Winter? You're in my way. We just thought you might want to move to a better spot. Is that really all it takes to make you do whatever we want? Apparently. I got 2 bots back to back yesterday. Got them nuked within 1 second of reporting them. The door here is marked with a nice autumny looking tree. And yet it leads to the winter wing. I suppose it's all part of the deception. I think you'd better leave them alone, Kay. Can I talk to you? I can't talk to Verity. What kind of bots? Was it the best viewers one? Because I got a list of tagged words you can ban, never see them again. Oop. Yeah, there's it robs me of reporting nuke though. Alright. Raid's like, I'd rather cause trouble, thank you. I don't think you've gotten away with anything, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be reporting your actions to the committee. Do whatever you need to do, Judge Gabrielle. You are that self-styled great thief, correct? Mr. Edgeworth's association with such a character will be of interest to the committee too, of course.
Go ahead and report me to your stupid committee. I'll be the toast of the thieving community.
It looks like Judge Gabrielle will have to think up some new threats if she wants to intimidate Kay. Great Halloween tree. I don't want to talk to Larry. Alright. Hey, Larry. I'm going to keep this simple, Larry. You're hiding something, so just tell me what it is. I can glare you down. No. Yes, and I'll keep glaring at you until you tell us what it is you're hiding. You're talking to me right now. I'm going to punch you in the face. This is getting me nowhere. I suppose I'll have to figure out what he's hiding first before I can get the whole truth out of him.
What you hiding? What's happening, princess?
Come on, Larry, what are you hiding? Well, I certainly wasn't playing. Oh, he'll talk. Don't you worry about that. I need to know what Larry is hiding, and I might have an idea of what it is. Perhaps presenting him with the right piece of evidence will force him to come clean. I would like this song so much better if it wasn't associated with Larry. Been a pain in my ass since the first game. Would you mind taking a look at this for me, Larry? Tell me, what is it about Miss Bond's tea set that's got you so agitated? You cleaned it. What you got? Oh man, that looks so good. That's so cute. Well done. If you won't tell me, then perhaps you'd prefer to explain it to Judge Gaviao. Don't make me look bad in front of Verity. Oh no, she doesn't. No one thinks that. No one thinks that, Larry. I don't want her to see the real me. The real low-down dirty me. You are a dirty little bitch. I'm not so sure anybody here thinks you're particularly clean-cut, Larry. But if you don't want her to think badly of you, the best thing you can do is talk to me. Alright, let's try this again. What are you hiding? Alright, Larry, enough is enough. Now, confess. You're not my best friend. I don't have friends. Is this any way for you to treat yours? By lying to him? Hiding things? You broke the teapot's there. No words exist to describe how far away I saw this coming from. Everyone's gonna think less of me now. I mean, I doubt it. 'Cause I don't think I can think less of you than I already did. Crying to me won't do you any good. I think you need to apologize to Ms. Bound. Scritch, you should look at the link Mio sent. It's beautiful. Oh, he's on his knees and everything. I'll paint your portrait. I'll paint you 50 portraits. Oh man, that's a feeling I have. I don't have any money, but I have art skills. Why should you be apologizing? Really? You're just gonna sweep it up and... Oh, Mio's got it. Mio beat me to it. Touch it. Touch it. You know you want to. Isn't it lovely? The teapot in question was designed by Artie Frost. I got distracted by the animation again. I understand it was something you've long treasured. You must be upset. Oh, look at her tears. All things break eventually. Judy, are you good? Is she less attached to Mr. Frost's work than she used to be? What do you mean? I took it out and basically switched the two pots. Oh, I see. I'll be extra careful not to break the other one, I promised. You have no shame whatsoever, do you? I'm sorry. You should fucking be. Belatedly. You're lucky. You're lucky because that thing is worth more than your life. I trust you won't take advantage of her kindness and will make amends somehow. At this rate, I suspect he's likely to make more trouble than amends. Don't you think it would be better for you to keep out of her way for a while? For a very long while. Her and the others. Sure. Ugh. I'm afraid you've greatly misjudged, Kay. I simply wish to see if Larry has captured any unusual details this time, too. Man, you think you're a professional artist, but your best work is in a sketchbook that you've been scribbling in today? Okay. Larry. He's supposed to be a kid-lit painter. Like children's literature. But I don't think he ever successfully... I don't think he successfully has a book at this point. He does later. But right now, he's just sort of a wannabe and a weirdo. I suppose we might as well take a look. Your sketches. So, these sketches of yours. Give me the fucking book, you weirdo. What am I looking at here? There's Verity and Judy and somebody else. That's Delicia. I to draw the room at first, just something to pass the time. And I saw one beauty and another, and well, I just scribbled them all down as I went. Alright. So these were all drawn at different times. And she's got chocolates. You shouldn't be. How true to life are these sketches? Did you only draw what you actually saw? You think I draw things I can't see, like using my imagination? Well, if you're gonna be a kidlit painter, you better learn. Exact shade of each color. So the colors are accurate. Interesting. Much as it pains me to admit it, Larry might have provided me with a useful piece of evidence yet again. The serving cart in the sketch, for example, if I compare it to the one here in the room, there's a clear contradiction between the two. I think a little deduction is in order. Could I borrow this page for a while, Larry? No. Just the page, please. Larry's sketches data jotted down in my organizer. Do. Alright. Let's see if I can... Teapots, he smells different. Connect. I suspect the difference in aroma we noticed is due to the teapots having been switched. My voice. Can I have it back, please? I can't see what else it could have been. The tea itself hadn't changed. Why don't we ask Ms. Bound, just to be sure? I love everything about it. It makes me want to sit and hum to myself cutely. Ms. Bound. The difference in aroma we noticed. Do you think it might have been because of the different teapots? My cup just now had a subtle minty scent, rather like uva tea. Could that really be it? Connect. The tea from the teapot Larry switched in from under the cart smelled faintly of mint. Yes, but there's something else that's been troubling me. Ms. Bound seemed more taken aback by the switching of teapots than the breaking of one. I suspect she might have been deliberately hiding the teapot under the cart. One of Ubiquium's key characteristics is its minty fragrance. So what if she'd been hiding some in that teapot? It's simply a possibility, but one worth investigating, I believe. Mr. Winner, any luck finding that Ubiquium? Why do you flinch like a beaten dog? I may have an idea. Get your hands off of her very expensive teapot. It's not a prize, it's a vital piece of evidence. You heal. Possibly. The minty fragrance we noticed coming from it. I think it might just be the scent of one of the chemicals used to make the poison gas. I'm afraid I do. The method used to create the gas would have required considerable preparation. Nobody would have had the time or the opportunity to set that up except you. Miss Scone is on our radar too, of course. You needn't worry about that. She is very confident. Miss Band claims she doesn't know the first thing about making poison gas. I need to find a way to prove that she's lying. Hello? Edgeworth speaking. Oh, hey Gumshoe. Is everything alright, Detective? You really shouldn't be sharing information about the investigation. But after the past week or so, I'm not about to stop him now. Yes. Stuff at the bottom. More of it in the Taurus case than the Gemini case. Describe this stuff for me if you can. The sample from the Taurus case just had a bunch of sugar in it. But the one from the Gemini case had 3 different substances in it. Which were sugar, salt, and blood. Blood? What are salt and blood doing in the Gemini's case sample? Thank you. Please do, Detective. He said he just got word the sugar that they found in the fountain matches the sugar in the pale liquid. I see. That might well prove to be a significant development. Anything else to report, Detective? Here in the winter wing. Oh. Yes, right there. And if we look at the, if we look here, it's here too. I mean, in the old one, which we don't have. But it was here, but it was missing in the second one where the everything had come unplugged. There were a few of those being used in the autumn wing to disguise it as the winter wing, as I recall. It seems that the equipment from 18 years ago is more than just for show. I need to talk to Miss Scone about this. Yes, thank you, Detective. Beep. You did, and all of it very useful. I'm going to prove that Miss Bound's claims about who could have set the poison gas trap are false. I'll need to talk to a certain somebody else who was here 18 years ago. Oh, Delicia's right here. Hey, they've moved. No, I don't need to get through here though. I need to talk to Delicia. Okay. It still says that I've talked to them. So. Delicia. What's up, my good bitch? Ms. Scone, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Tooth decay? Yikes. I'd appreciate it if that was the last time you called me Milesy Smilesy. She's not a fan of tooth decay either. Understandable. You just have to like it or lump it? I can't change a nickname once I've settled on it? That's terrible. What can you tell us about the various devices used to decorate the gallery's exhibits? There seem to be some pretty specialized items in use. Light-emitting devices, luminous fabrics. Oh, you can? Oh, you gave them to her. That was nice of you. Oh, did you give them to her 18 years ago? Mio might play in that too. I think we're probably off this weekend though. It's back when you were a dear, sweet, innocent baby boy. What happened to you? You shouldn't. So these decorations are all the same ones you saw 18 years ago, correct? There were 4 luminous cloths in use in the autumn wing, but I'm sure I saw another one somewhere. What is she looking for? Maybe I should jog her memory with something so Miss Scone will tell us more. You had a piece of fabric like this in your bag, did you not, Miss Scone? Albeit a somewhat grimier one. Shall I call it a dish towel then? Perhaps you used it to wipe up some sort of spillage. I think I'd like to know a little more about this highly specialized luminous cloth, if you don't mind. Miss Scone, you're something of a specialist. How might someone learn to make poison gas that was used in the attack, hmm? Any ideas? But what about a layperson? It's unlikely they'd know, wouldn't you say? Unless they'd had a nose to the ultimate cookbook. The prize from the contest 18 years ago. With that not mixing with the big bit. So you're familiar with the contents of this book? Yeah, see, here's Cold Killer X. I have. Cold Killer X. Fights back sniffles and sneezes with ease, apparently. Which means Miss Scone is one of these elites, I suppose. Why didn't you want me to know you had a piece of luminous cloth in your bag? If you must know. Oh, she fished it out of the fountain. Alright. So, Larry's sketch of Miss Scone is when she was trying to retrieve the cloth. Must be the one that went missing all those years ago. I see. Stress is no good for the complexion. So the cloth that disappeared 18 years ago, when the victim was wrapped in, happens to reappear in the fountain at the same time as the body. Okay, well, it seems like we're done with the her. Oh, we're not? I guess we're not. We must need to present her something. Have you read The Ultimate Cookbook, Miss Scone? Since when were you interested in pharmaceuticals? Not a very good one. Some cute rubbish around with you. Fireproof and ever so sturdy. So it would seem. We know the bulb in this lamp probably broke because it was used in the murder. But then what happened to the other one? I'm not accusing you, Miss Scone. That doesn't mean I can cook. Oh no. Surely that only applies to fake confectioners. A picture of silly old me. Indeed, that's right. You seem to have caught the artist's eye. Well, I'll be glad to introduce you. There's the evil smirk. I don't know what else she would need to be shown. She doesn't know what this is. What do you say about my badge? It's not, no. That's right, my father was a defense attorney. I took a different path. I suppose it's to be expected at your age. My career path is not the result of some adolescent phase, Miss Scone. Her voice kind of rude. I don't know what else to ask her. Maybe I need to talk to somebody else. Larry's done. Child is done. He's not done. Can I help you? Rather, how can you help me? Where were you before you rejoined us here, Miss Bound? Yes, a few things actually. The fact that I might think you might be the one who set the poisonous gas trap. The original ice sculpture melted 18 years ago, correct? How did you manage to recreate them? But why go through the trouble of creating replicas? Rather recompleted, I see. I see, and was there any particular reason why the winter and autumn wings look so similar? She's clearly lying. But I don't have the evidence to prove it just yet. Okay. How many did she give you exactly? There were 4 luminous colossi in the autumn wing, but now I'm sure I saw another one somewhere else. I get the feeling Miss Bound is hiding something. Have I inadvertently stumbled into the set of Cake Crimes the musical or something? Oh, I forgot to take a break. We're gonna go on break.